Okay, this is William K. Murtathon, Witness One, coming on the air just a little bit disorganized. So, with nobody not showing up yet, this gives me a chance to get things caught up. I upgraded to a new phone, and because of that, this thing here, I ran into a little bit of technical problems, and it delayed me getting on the air. Uh, on my in my studio because I lost track of time, and I also had a phone call to deal with. Now, the reason I'm coming on is rather curious thing that's going on over at. Oh, I got to get my glasses on so people don't think I'm hiding from that I'm Whitey Bulger or they think I'm Whitey Bulger or whatever. So, to the troll that thinks I'm Whitey Bulger, there are my glasses again. Anyway, uh, I had some rather curious things going on over on Telegram and elsewhere. And um so I gotta prepare a little bit. So I'm going to let everybody come in and welcome to the stream, Rebecca. Oops, there we go. I got to bring this up. And do just going through here, I want to see if there's anything further. And let's see, there's still. Yeah, there's not much. They're still continuing their weird. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to have Hoopster in here. That she's out doing the hoops. Of course, it's kind of cold for her to be doing it right now. But, it's. Let me. Okay, so. Let me. Okay, now I want to see if the new stuff will come through. Okay, so I've got to do. Yeah, on that note, while I'm sitting here twiddling with my phone, trying to get this information that I looked at earlier, I don't know what I did with it, and I didn't have time to go back in there. Dwayne, good evening, pie in the sky. Thanks for tuning in, and let us see. We go over into the land of the crazies, and let me go up. I got to go back a little bit because they had a rather peculiar reaction to my live stream last night. Um, Now, I am sincere in that uh, I would like to see Jessie have her say in front of a grand, in front of one of these congressional hearings, like everybody seems to want. Now, yeah, I'm just gonna do this off the top of my head. And what they did is they think that I'm trying to trap um, Jesse, and they said, "Why would I be starting a petition drive because there's already a petition there?" Well, there's two reasons. First of all, as I understand it, there's 50, maybe 75 at the most, 100 people who signed that petition. That is nowhere near enough. And also, um, Congress generally does not bring a witness before a committee simply because people signed a petition to get them there. What you have to do is you have to go do multiple avenues of um, in order to argue for getting her to appear before Congress. And that is that you would call and send emails to each and every one of the committee members. This includes uh, the chairman of the committee, Mr. Jordan, as well as the co chairman, the Democratic uh, co chair, and the Democratic members. You would go to Kevin McCarthy on the House side and ask him to see if he can't persuade members of that committee to testify. And you could also go over to the Senate side and get some of the megas over on the Senate side to pressure. Um, it is surprising me that only 100 people, give or take, was able to sign for this petition. Jessica has a big following, so I am surprised that she wasn't able to garner more support. And the problem here is that they waited too long. That particular subject was heard, as I said, um, on the 9th. And so, thank you. And so they need to start a new petitions and get them to uh, have her appear before Congress. And they are going to need to, um, you know, use these other avenues to get her before the committees, calling the senators, calling people in the House of Representatives, going up the food chain and saying that this woman has um, this to say. Now, I made several calls today to Washington. I believe it was about 12 calls, and did a couple different avenues saying that there is a woman out there. I gave them the full information, gave them links to her uh, site and also links to Timmy's site, and also notified them that I had, or that Randy Erickson had called Jim Jordan, the chairman of the one committee there, and implored on him to get Jessica to testify before Congress. Now, again, there are two ways for someone to appear before Congress. You either are invited to appear, or you are called before Congress to appear. And the third way is if there's enough public interest that a person can come on their own before Congress, which would lead to the invitation and do your testimony. Now, for some reason, all this talk about petitions has stopped. There's not much mention of uh, Jesse and her case um, at the moment. They're all trying to say that I'm doing this to entrap her or something. A congressional hearing is not law enforcement, it's a public hearing to get to the bottom of issues. Now if if her testimony turns out to be lying to Congress, perjury, and a contempt of Congress, then yes, she's got a serious problem. But if she is sincere in wanting to get into Congress and get her message out there, then she needs to be more aggressive, her followers to be more aggressive, and Homeseth's followers need to be more aggressive in getting her to appear before Congress. Now, if they just suddenly say, "Well, screw it, we quit," or they quit because I decided to join in on this and advocate for her right to exercise the First Amendment, then they are not sincere about getting her to appear on uh, in Congress, and this is all just a ploy to get money, which is what I think it is anyway. Because they've gone from the last thing we had on Jesse was her contention that children were uh, held by the military under the Great Lakes, and that um, you know if she believes this is true, this is something that she needs to bring to the attention of Congress, and that would be done through a petition to appear. But you know this has been this is evaporated. They instead have said that um, they may not want her to appear before Congress now because they're afraid of something that I could do that would cause risk to her. And I don't understand what that could be because I am only, um, a small time blogger. I've got a YouTuber. I've got 7 people in here right now. That's not much of an impact. If she you know, there's nothing. I have no power to do anything, and I may not be able to accomplish anything with these calls I'm making because there may be no way for Jesse to appear before Congress, and you know, but the thing that surprises me about this now, remember what Tim Holmes says about himself. He is one man away from President Trump. He has declared that he has had communications with the Trump family, specifically Melania. And so he should be able to get Donald Trump to use his influence to see if he can't get Jesse before Congress. And I don't get it. I don't get why they're not able to accomplish anything. Yeah, uh, Randy has her stuff in front of Congress to Jim's office, and she apparently called him. But that's as far as it's gone. And there's nothing. There's no new petition. No nothing. They've gone on to an entirely different subject, and there's hardly a mention of Jesse. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if she's ever going to get before Congress because everybody seems to have given up. Now, I'm still trying to find out about these warrants that are being reported, that there are 2 arrest warrants in the state of Tennessee for Randy and Timmy. So, I don't know what's going on there. Hi, Glow. I saw some of your videos that were posted tonight. Um, and, this Panda Eyes thing, I exposed this fraud when it came out. Um, his exploitation of children that had this affliction is typical of him. Um, he puts, he puts this stuff out there, knowing that it's false, and now whoever is running the blog has repeated this lie. And this makes me wonder who it is that's running it. It clearly isn't Timothy because they're repeating stuff that Timmy wrote and was instantly debunked. And once it was debunked, uh, he abandoned it and moved on. But now, for a long time, we've been having stuff. We had stuff repeated that he wrote about. So I'm wondering if it's being confirmed that Timothy Charles Holmeseth has not been doing anything on the inter, internet for at least the past 3 years and possibly even longer. That there is a ghostwriter over there. And, now they're saying that his official channel is Truth Social. So anything coming out of Truth Social is um, from Timmy. Now, that may not be true. So we have um, somebody running that board. Now, we never know, Randy or Rebecca. Randy does have a wood chipper on her husband's property that came clear in the photographs. So, anything's possible. I mean, if you're gonna believe things about fish people and lizard people and this kind of people and that kind of people, then you believe that Randy ate Timmy. He was the main course. Kind of fatty, but when you're hungry enough, you'll eat anything, I guess. If we're gonna play around with these speculations, we might as well go all the way with it. They don't seem to mind it. This Whitey Bulger thing is hilarious. And I've started reading oop, the book. And Will is pretty thorough. Um, he is starting out giving a detailed outline of just how QAnon came about. And if the book does one thing, it teaches you how this farce was created, um, and how easily people were fooled into getting involved in this debauchery that um, QAnon basically was able to seek out gullible idiots and get them to believe in all these Q drops and all this other nonsense that's what's going on and what continues today. And clearly, whoever this QAnon is or was has a thing against Hillary. Now, unfortunately, we get into politics because the drive of QAnon has been Hillary. They don't like Hillary. Now, there's a lot of people, especially people that are regulars on this show, that don't like Democrats. They don't like Hillary and stuff like that. But we are here for one specific reason, and that is to debunk the lies of Timothy Charles Homeseth and those around him. Um, we have all been put through hell because of these people. And the one thing that's going to come out in Will Summers' book is just how bad things were. The murders that happened because of QAnon and people uh, getting involved in that, the families that were destroyed by QAnon, and so on and so forth. Um, so, because these people are, they say they're researching and all that. They're not. All they're doing is they're looking for stuff that bolsters their point of view. They aren't trying to backtrace to where Timothy gets all this stuff from. There's nobody denying that there is child trafficking, that children are being bought and sold, and they're used in pornography, they're sexually assaulted, they're into forced labor. There's all kinds of bad things that are happening to children, their parents or guardians, um, right on up through their teenagers into early adults. There's all kinds of problems. But Timmy is painting a false narrative. The people that he accuses of being involved in these actions are not guilty of these things. He is attacking the innocent. And as you read Summer's book, a lot of this is going to come out. Um, and I would hope that as the publicity surrounding this book spreads and as more and more people read it, that people will understand that they were had. And um, that is what's going to be done. We're going to see that um, the public is finally going to wake up and realize um, that they had been played. There are people out there that got involved in this patriot stuff and in QAnon because they actually believed what Q said. They believed all the propaganda about what Randy and Timmy said and what the Canadian woman said, and all these people. And it turned out to be flat out lies, that they were had, that they were fooled into following a movement that resulted in them being alienated by those around them, their friends, their family, their employers, their associates, all of that, all because of some fictitious thing that came out of a foreign um website that dealt in animated pornography and its origins. And it just grew. And we had this big cult, and Timmy has inserted himself into it. And recently, if you read the um, post that he has up there correctly, he has abandoned QAnon and used the excuse that he only infiltrated QAnon to bring out the people that were actually child traffickers and so on and so forth that were a part of QAnon, which of course, again, is false. But he does this anyway. And we get the people over on Telegram um, can't see this. They are blinded by their own bias and blinded, I think, that they do not admit that they were sucked into something that's not true, that they were played, that um, that they were taken for fools, and so forth. And so you get there are people who even if they realize that they've been played for fools, they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit that they followed a false leader, that Tim took them for a ride and they were completely fooled. They can't bring themselves to that. They have to continue to play the game in order to save their self respect while at the same time um, destroying themselves, because people on the outside know the truth. And They, um, I don't know. I just, you wrap yourselves in knots trying to figure out really what's going on in these people's minds. They're over there um, trying to. Okay, now this was they at 4:28 in the morning after my last show. They posted, "Why does Mert need a new petition for Jesse when Jesse already sent one to Jim Jordan?" Well, the answer to that is they waited too long. As I pointed out in the live stream, which they apparently didn't pay very much attention to, the hearing was on the 9th of the month. Randy and Jesse waited until 2 weeks after the hearing to submit the information to Jim Jordan, and the numbers aren't there. And they have to start the process all over again. Like I mentioned earlier in the live stream, they have to start another petition. They can use the same names, and they can't stop at just a petition. If they really want Jesse to testify before Congress, they have to lean on members of Congress to do it, and they have to seek out those who have the influence to persuade them to do it. A couple hundred complete strangers are not going to be able to influence them with a petition. They get petitions every day. One congressperson I talked to today said that she gets petitions with 5,000 people on it wanting to get someone heard or wanting to be heard before Congress. They want a they want a investigation into this, that, and the other thing, and that's not how it's done. And I asked her, is there any way that someone could put a, you know, whisper in the ear of Jim Jordan or the other committee members to do this? And she explained that she will send something to a committee member that she knows over there, but that it's a long shot. You know, they're busy in Washington with their agenda, and Jesse may not be important enough to listen to, no matter what is sent to uh, Congress and the committee and to Jim Jordan and anybody else. But if she really wants to um, try it, then she needs to start the process all over again, get as many people as she can, get on her social media and keep pounding people to call your representative and say that you want her to be invited to Congress to testify. Now, some of the reaction from last night, uh, LCD seems to be the big critic here. Watching Mert's Murtathon from a few hours ago, and it just got creepy, saying if Jesse were to testify, he, Mert, could be one of the photojournalists sitting on the floor taking pictures of the panel and taking pictures of Jesse. Is he trying to be threatening? No. Anybody that has watched a committee hearing, and I even went into this last night, you will see journalists in a space sitting on the floor because they don't want to obstruct the C-SPAN feed, and they're taking pictures of everybody testifying, and they take pictures of the committee. This is standard operating procedure in these hearings and the journalists that cover it. And since I am a photographer, I would go to Congress if I'm allowed to get credentialed in there, and I would cover the hearing. Now, I may not sit on the floor and take pictures of the committee members. I may just sit in the uh, guest areas there and listen to the hearing. So that's a possibility. There's first of all, we got to get Jesse to DC in the first place. Don't put the cart before the horse, LCD. You got to get Jesse to Washington first and then see what happens. And then we get this quote: he wants everyone that follows him to call Jim Jordan and get a subpoena to get Jesse to testify. Then he says he wants to testify. He wants to start another petition to send to Jordan and say, let's get Jesse before Congress. Weird, weird. I did not say that I wanted to start a petition. I am not going to start a petition. They want Jesse up there. They can get the petition. Now, it's this reaction is kind of odd because you would think they'd welcome the help, that the more people, oh, good evening, Levi, welcome. You would think that the more people that could get behind Jesse to appear in Congress, regardless of the motivation, they should accept it because they want Jesse up there. They want her testimony on the record. And if it takes siding with the enemy to get it done, then what's the harm? You people want Jesse's supporters, her to be up on um the floor of Congress testifying about what she claims is going on under the Finger Lakes, or the Great Lakes, actually, and elsewhere, and all these things she claims to have witnessed. Why not accept help and get her up there? And why are Jesse supporters backing away from getting her into Congress? There's nobody from her side pestering Congress to get her up there. So this may be a hoax just to get people to donate to the two of them, Timmy and Jessica. They may realize full well that they are not going to be able to get before Congress, and they're just doing all this to make themselves look like big shots, and that they know that they are never ever going to get in front of Congress. So, and let's see, I listened 2 times to catch up. For your information, audio is weird. I'm not sure what happened to my audio, but they say it was weird. Mert throws out a lot of names, including Montagraph and Agent 19. It's pretty bizarre. They apparently have not listened to Monty's show, and they have not listened to Agent 19. Montagraph is known to call members of Congress and people of high profile up on his show. He's done it. He's done it live on the air. He's done recordings and um, uh, and all that. Okay, Levi, what did Madison say about those two? Um, I have not um, checked into that. Is that on one of those boards over on Telegram? Um, because I don't even know who this Madison character is. It's just, it's one of these names I see flying around. Um, oh, I have somebody asking me why are there um, warrants out for the arrest of Timmy and Randy in the state of Tennessee, and I still have not been able to track that one down, so I can't verify that. But let's see what else we got going on here. We have some new ones. But they're talking about the trial in North Carolina, and they're making a conspiracy theory out of that one. But, Monty and Agent 19 have both used their resources to contact various parties and talk about certain things. So, and, you know, they may, they probably curious about what she'd have to say before Congress, and they might use whatever resources to do that. Now, on another note, uh, Tim Holmseth is continuing to barge into the Delphi case. He wrote, uh, supposedly over on True Social, Kyle Rittenhouse told Donald Trump Jr. on Triggered that the prosecutors in his case were George Soros funded. Next question. Who is funding the prosecution in the Delphi murder case against Richard Allen in Indiana? Asking for a friend. Now, this is clear cut proof that he is defending a suspected pedophile, that there is enough evidence that's been put out there in public before the judge sealed it that indicates that um, Richard Allen may have been involved in stalking the teenagers and may be a pedophile and may be associated with a pedophile. And yet, with all this before him, he wants to come to Richard Allen's expense. Now or defense. Now I'm rather curious as to why Tim Holmseth would be coming to the defense of someone um, suspected of the murder of two teenagers. There's something not right here because it does not make any sense for Tim Holmseth to be coming up with an excuse for Richard Allen unless there's something more to him just taking pictures of himself in front of the very city where this crime occurred. He seems to have an attachment of some kind with Delphi, Indiana. And because of that, he needs to be looked into. He's trying to get Richard Allen acquitted and is trying to get me and other people implicated in that murder case. Why is that? What is there about Richard Allen that causes Tim Holmseth to come to his defense? Now, at 9:27 tonight, Kevin Murtaugh promotes Summer's book, claims the whole QAnon sham is all about hating Hillary Clinton. And they're calling Will Summer disinformation. Now, I find that interesting and not surprising because if you look at what QAnon represents, Hillary Clinton is on there. All this information that Holmseth has published for the last 6 years came out of QAnon, sending Hillary to Gitmo, all the lizard people. Yes, I did. My copy of the book came 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. This is the book cover. I took the cover off the book because if you leave this on the book goes floop right out of the bottom. You know, that's book covers are notorious, and I take the covers off of books when I buy them. I don't buy books very often. I bought Mary Trump's book, and I bought Summers' book because he knows a hell of a lot about QAnon. I read the introduction, and I had just started reading the first chapter of the book, and it's quite an interesting book. I recommend people to read it, whether you buy it, get it out of the library, listen to it on audiobooks, but definitely read the book because it gives you a running history of QAnon from the beginning. And they don't like, you know, they sure pay attention to my show. Merch ratings at an all-time low, 8 people. You know, truth is not necessarily. Yeah, she did. Um, I'm not here for numbers. I'm here for truth. And then they don't. They pay attention to an 8 listener live stream. 10 people tonight. So, hey, they're talking about me real time over there. Um, an account called Jesus Christ and Caddy Kick announcing murders live. Huh. You didn't keep your word, Holmeseth. And this is a weird one. They got, we need to start trolling Mert, put up my channel. And Katie Kick, let me go back. Katie Kick is back to its habits of posting um, people in their underwear. So we know who that is. Katie Kick is uh, our old reliable troll, and she went on Telegram and said that we need to troll Mert's channel. And for some reason, Kitty Cat. And this is her, this is what she's using to DM me. Um, Picture of a clock on a wall. Um, well, that's interesting, Tennessee. They have not produced the petition. Um, you know, they could use any number of excuses. Why not? But they did not produce the petition. Um, and now they're having a um, pissing match over there because I'm on the air tonight. So I don't know who Lawrence is, but I guess he's. Can you ask the real LDB if he's going to testify? Anybody got any idea who LDB is? Uh, I know. It's Holmeseth cares about the truth above all else. That is bullshit. Holmeseth cares only about Holmeseth. All these things he says are lies. And Truth Punisher is probably uh, the one controlling things over on BitChute. We don't know who's running the show over there. There has been no um, power of attorney given out to anyone um, to write on Tim's behalf. And he says that the only people to believe are anyone that has documented authorization from him to do so. Uh, that seems to be the case, TN, um, because I have a FOIA request in for the petition and um, have heard nothing back yet. Poor Truth Punisher. She doesn't like me, which is no surprise. So, same merry-go-round every day. They don't like my show yet. They got to come in here and listen to it. It's sad, really. I mean, the time they spend spying on my show, they could be out there trying to get Jesse um, um, they should be out there trying to get a petition signed and putting pressure on Congress to let um, Jesse testify before Congress. That seems to be what they want. But instead, they're trolling my show, and that's all you see over on Telegram right now. I mean, where's the big effort to get the petition in place for Jessica? They already missed the one hearing that she could have gone in front of, so now they have to try and pressure them into uh, 2 nights in a row. Someone's getting desperate. Really? I've only got 10 people on here, and you're probably half of them, LCD. Uh, why are you even bothering to tune into the show? Why aren't you out there working to get Jesse before Congress? Why did you stop helping Jesse get before Congress? I mean, you made a big deal out of this for quite a while, and now all you're doing is criticizing the show. It's laughable. But that's all they're capable of doing. They just sit over there on Telegram and just gossip between themselves, and they're really not accomplishing a damn thing. There's next to nothing that is being done outside of Telegram or True Social or BitChute or whatever. They're in this little circle. Um, so what are you gonna do? Well, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Timmy does not have the skill set to operate that um, the blog or the um, BitChute account. He's the way that everything is formatted on the two shows is beyond his abilities. He has very little knowledge of multimedia. You can uh, check that out by going back and going through the history of the various blogs, and you will see a change and everything. Hey, Murd, what is up at the airport? Oh, let me see. Let's see. Airplanes are going up. They're building a train down there that is going to be going between Orlando and Miami and points in between. We have a new Terminal C over there. And a lot of people running around buying plane tickets, coming in, going to Disney World. That's what's going on at the airport. And as for what I'm doing to the airport, well, you see, the airport has these things they call airplanes. And airplanes come in and out of the airport. And people go to the airport and they get on airplanes and they go flying to wherever it is the plane flies to. And then they come back, or maybe they never come back. But that's what an airport's for. It's a terminal for airplanes. It's a place for people to go to get on an airplane, to go someplace, or they may go to the airport to meet people. That's what's going on at airports. So I hope that answers your question. Some moron on Telegram has been asking that question for quite a while as to what am I doing in an airport? Well, ask yourself, what's an airport? I mean, these people that dumb they can't figure that out? And you say that's the thing. They are more interested in finding out if I'm doing anything at the airport and not about Jesse. There's no talk about Jesse. No, what am I doing there? I just told you what I'm doing there. I mean, are you that stupid you can't figure that out? I don't hang out at the airport. Matter of fact, I go to the airport, I get on a plane, I go someplace, I come back on a plane, I get in my car, and I come home. I don't hang around at the airport. There's nothing there to hang out for. You guys are weird, man. Yeah, they They come up with these false narratives. They can't, they make something up out of nothing. You know, all of a sudden they're talking about the airport. Which airport? Orlando has three of them. Actually, four if you count Sanford. How long do you hang out there? I don't know. I guess as long as it takes to get through security and get up to the gate and get on the airplane. And then when I come back to get off the airplane, go down, get my luggage, and leave the airport. Figure it out. Anyway, it's proof that this dingbat is in here. Which one are you going to? Well, I'm going to let you guess that one. You know, it's none of your business, number one. And if you want to find that out, I guess you're just going to have to do some research. I don't know why you're interested in why I'm going to an airport. I mean, um, millions of people get on airplanes every day. Are you going to question what every single solitary person is doing at an airport, getting on an airplane, or maybe they're not getting on an airplane? I mean, what is it with you people? What does this have to do with anything? Mert is a volunteer. Volunteer to what, Kingfish? Well, that's what airplanes do. They fly, Meow. I mean, Preacher Dan flies. He gets free. He claims to get free tickets from Alaska Airlines, so he flies. All right, come on up. I have a visitor. But it's funny. Uh oh, Kingfish. They read your post. Boy, she's right up on there. Because you just posted and it took 60 seconds. And so I guess I'm a volunteer. I don't know what I'm volunteering, but I'm a volunteer. And the battery's going dead on my cell phone. What are you gonna do? Well, I brought this up before. You know, they've already been sued by Craig Sawyer, and as soon as that gets thrown out of the appellate court, the um, recovery agents will be going to work because there's going to be liens put on all of Randy's properties and everything, which is usually the way these things are done to get the judgment satisfied. They sooner or later, uh, people are going to collect on that debt. That's a considerable amount of money to owe people. So I still would like to know what I'm a volunteer for. You may or may not be right, but because if people pay close enough attention to certain things, they might be able to put things together. And I'm a little surprised that people that are used to follow um, QAnon can't figure this stuff out. My Q drops that are not Q drops. But it's people don't. This is probably why they haven't figured anything out yet when it comes to. Uh, ooh, don't give too much information now. They may figure all this out. Let them figure that one out for themselves. Funny how Deep State Dave and I Love Mine predicted that. Hummer predicted what? Well, I guess you'll have to ask that. I don't know. I get told this information. Timmy's the investigative reporter. He should be able to figure this out. Super gang stalking. Oh, really? Uh, everybody, we are accused of being gang stalkers, and we're the ones with the call when it's Tim Holseth putting out this wetty bulgar crap. Oh, who pays me? Hmm? I don't see any GoFundMe places. Where's your evidence, Truth Punisher? I mean, you have all this information. I don't see it. Where's your proof? Why don't you go up before Congress and testify that I get paid? Get paid by who? How much? Who, what, when, where, and why? You're the big know-it-all, and volunteers don't get paid. You know, I'll do it this way. I had to put the phone on the charger because its battery's going dead. But I love these people. Read properly. Read properly. One. They also predicted that Randy Seast asset would be going to Merck. Really? I am not a party to the lawsuit, so I wouldn't be entitled to any money for anything. And it's probably going to take years for them to get money from um, anybody because the um, recovery process takes a long time because they have to do forensics. I would testify anywhere, anytime, any place. Well, so would I. And you may get your chance. Um, oh, you're calling me a terrorist again. Yeah, defamation. That's what the terrorist account said. How are they terrorists? And, you're a big know it all. Why don't you call the cops? Report them and send me the. No, of course not. This is fun. I came in briefly to give an update on these yo-yos, and I was going to go away, but I love reading the malarkey over there on Telegram because she is in here um, gang stalking my chat. Do you have a uniform for work? Red? No, I don't work for State Farm. Well, looks like they decided to come in and troll. So ask your questions, extracurricular. This is fun. I call them terrorist accounts. Well, of course you do, because anybody that disagrees with you is a terrorist. And you're the terrorist. According to your government, you are. This is not your channel, dipshit. You are gangstering this chat. Well, why don't you make the channel private? Why don't you kick me off your channel? You're in this room. You know, you're in my channel. We're having a conversation. Oh, so you're a communist. Your government worked for China. Yeah. So that means you're a communist. It's not mine. You just said it was your government. You said right there, my government worked for China. So that must mean that it's China. Or is it Russia that works for China? That would make sense. How did you get Ten's book at the airport? Okay, since you missed my live stream, I was contacted anonymously and asked if I wanted a copy of Timmy's book. And the individual apparently knew that I frequented the Atlanta airport. And so I said, yes. How do do you have the copy? And they said yes. And they say I would be willing to sell it to you for $20. And I said, all right, how do you want to arrange this? And they said they want to keep it anonymous. And so the what had happened is that the airport has a suitcase that's cockeyed and it's got all kinds of stickers on it for various cities of the world. And the individual said, stand under the suitcase and wait for me to text you a message. And I waited under the suitcase. They texted me a message. They said, you will find the book behind a wastebasket at the foot of the stairs in front of you. And so I went down, and behind the garbage can was Tim's book. I picked up the book, left the $20 in the envelope behind the wastebasket, and left. But I had a friend of mine who always picks me up at the airport, and he was on. They have, if anybody's ever been in the Atlanta airport, they have a mezzanine type thing in this area, and it has some rails around it, and you can sit up there and see the bench from upstairs. And it was and we identified the individual as radio news. And so that's how I got one copy of his book. The second copy I found through an internet site that sells used books. And so that's how I got the book. Kind of stupid. I mean, I don't, she could have done this differently, but this was her bright idea. And so extracurricular, that's how I got the book. And one thing I learned from from reading the book is every single solitary thing in the book is on the internet. So it's bullshit about um, him not being able to get the word out because he's published every word of the book on the internet. So it's no secret. Plus, he he gives away free editions of the book. There's at least a dozen people that have gotten the book. Um, yeah, and we got this question, kind of a soap opera question. Um, I would say radio is ordinary looking. She is a woman that at the time was in her early 60s and short. Um, and, you know, for the brief amount that I saw her, and I think she worked at the airport. She had some kind of a uniform on, but we never could figure out if it was a vendor at the airport or she worked off property. But she had some kind of a work uniform on. Um, so I don't know. And what we didn't do is take pictures. I don't know why I didn't tell the guy to take a picture, but that's, it's just one of those things. Yeah, you guys just cut off the revenue stream for the book. Uh, well, when you lie about someone and, defame someone and stalk someone, you reap what you sow. Now, I didn't, I don't care if the book was, where's my 2023? Oh, all right, I got the wrong thing up. Hold on. Everybody wants my 2023 badge. All right. There you go. There's my 2023 badge. See, the background that I'm using right now is the old one. The way the software is, you have what they call an overlay, and you have a background. And the I haven't redesigned the blog yet to put up my new credentials, so that's why the um, new slide isn't up yet. But we can do it this way. We'll put this up, and then well, that may not work. See, the software doesn't work the way it's supposed to, I guess, so we're going to be stuck with this one. Let me get back into comments now. Um, what would I do if I ran into a radio in person? I'd ask her why the hell she lied about everybody. Why did she do what she did? Um, why did she play both sides against each other? She's she caused a lot of problems for everybody. She caused problems for Tim. She caused problems for me. She caused problems for um, Kim, and she basically played us all against each other. And whether you guys want to believe it or not, she is in Telegram, and she is playing everybody against each other again. That's what she does. And I know for a fact she's in there. Well, you copy everything homie does, so I guess the redesign is in order. You guys cause a lot of no, we don't. We're trying to do is get out the truth. Now you are so brainwashed with what Timmy does, or you are so infatuated with um, uh, the money that Timmy makes that you follow him. Because anyone that had any common sense would realize that Timmy is full of crap. And the troll says that Tim says Levi is radio. Well, Tim can prove that. But you see, Tim has a problem. There is a posting on the internet out there, not by me, as to how Tim was discovered or how radio was discovered. Levi is not radio, not by any stretch of the imagination. Radio is a former employee of AT&T. She claims to have been an electrical engineer. And yes, extracurricular, I did call you a troll because you're acting like one. You're asking the same questions that every troll that's come in here asked and making the same statements that every troll that comes in here makes. Now, like I said, radio claimed to be a electrical engineer and a mechanical engineer working for AT&T as a third party contractor, and that's false. AT&T does not do that because if AT&T were to hire her and then she went over to Verizon, they face the danger of her telling Verizon their secrets and her telling AT&T Verizon's. So they don't do that. They don't cross hire people as consultants. You are hired in house, you sign NDOs, and that's it. What radio actually was one of the thousands of telephone operators that got laid off in the big layoff when AT&T uh, automated their system, and she was resentful for it. She had bad health. She was a heavy smoker, had um, sinus allergies and all kinds of stuff, and she was basically confined to her house, and thus she got involved in this nonsense, basically to vent her failure in life. And so that is where, well, you thought wrong because it was probably Astro telling you that. I am not radio. I do not have the kind of technical expertise she had. This woman is capable of creating hundreds of troll accounts on any social media site that she chooses to be on. And that's why I think that half the people on Telegram and on BitChute and on Timmy's blog are radio. Oh, of course you found something on the internet. If it's on the internet, it's true. And it's not. And Astro put that there. Sounds like Sherry, Kathleen, or Noller. Who the hell are those people? But please don't call me a troll. Well, I guess you bribed me into not calling you a troll. Well, don't act like one. Well, I got my Pepsi right here. See? So, I had it ready and waiting. I had to drink my milk first, and now I'm drinking Pepsi. But anyway, this is an interesting conversation going on over the Telegram because, um, these people believe every single thing that Tim says, no matter how outlandish. The fish people, the lizard people, uh, what's the other one? Oh, the mole people. We got all these people. Who was Astro? Astro is a woman from the state of Virginia who also goes around and will come in using a dozen different sock accounts, and she is obsessed with posting pictures of people's underwear and people in various stages of dress. She hates Kim Picasio. She hates Nancy Grace. She hates Hillary, and so on and so forth. When you met Kim, yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, I was able to. I mean, she likes to talk, but we had a conversation. Now, when you get her on the phone, that might be a different story. You get her on the phone, and she just loves to talk. I think it's a trait with lawyers, but Kim is a good person. She's honest. She doesn't deserve the treatment she's getting. She's not what people say she is. She's definitely not um, what people say. Levi. She posts what she claims is Levi in his underwear. That's been known for years. Tim Halsett, no, Tim Halsett doesn't call it like he sees it, Mark. Tim is a pathological liar. He wouldn't know the truth if it stared him in the face. Um, if Timmy was not a liar, why didn't he show up in court to defend himself? He was already convicted once of violating that order, and he could have got up into court, provided all his evidence, but he chose to run away because that's all he knows how to do is run away. He's a coward, and you people are defending a coward. Well, he's not going to get. Here we go with this thing that says Timmy's going to be assassinated. He's not going to be assassinated. Nobody cares. That's the biggest lie he's ever told. He even says the vice president of the United States wants to assassinate him, and you people fall for it. This is how stupid you people are to believe that there is someone that wants to assassinate Tim Holmsath and would actually assassinate him. That's a bunch of horse crap. No, what he's got is enormous bullshit. This is what Timmy lives in a car. He doesn't have. He's a nomad. He doesn't stay place. He's either in his car or he's couch surfing with all of his cult members. Uh, he is incapable of holding down a job. He's got at least 5 um, donation sites, 4 on one particular site, and then he's got a Patreon account and a GoFundMe, and you can send the money to him directly to his. Um, no, I said the vice president, dummy. VICE, which would be Mike Pence. He claims that Mike Pence actually flew to Minnesota to arrange his assassination, which is bullshit. When was the last time you were legitimately employed? Well, I guess Timmy, being an investigative reporter, can figure that one out. But because of Timmy and others who post this false narrative about me, I cannot get a job because employers check out applicants on the internet. And with everything that's out there on the internet about me, I can't get a job. So he accomplished his mission of making me unemployable. Mike Pence doesn't even know Tim Holmseth. You know, Donald Trump doesn't know Timmy Holmseth. Melania Trump doesn't know Timmy Holmseth. Yeah, Timmy, liar, liar, liar. How does a retired truck driver and car salesman end up with so many law enforcement sources? Well, I guess you need to research my background. Now, Tim Holmseth claims that I'm an FBI informant, and Tim Holmseth claims all this stuff about me being involved with law enforcement. So he must know something I don't. And Tim Holmseth putting something up on the internet that says he's trying to get assassinated isn't going to prove anything. Matter of fact, it makes him look like a damn fool. Because who in the, you know, Tim Holmseth at the time he wrote that, the last legitimate job he had was a pizza delivery guy. Who the hell wants to assassinate a pizza delivery guy? And he has nothing. If he had all this information, it would be out there. Remember, Tim says on his blog that there is only one man between him and Donald Trump. So if he knows Donald Trump that well, Donald Trump would see to it that the information about Mike Pence came out and that Tim Holmseth would be given credit for it. Not happening. So, you could sit here and espouse this crap on your little Telegram account, um, Truth Punisher, but his job is a writer, Dick. His job is a writer. His job is a war correspondent. War correspondent? Oh, talk about who writes your live clothes or the legal proceedings you comment on. Nobody. I do research on various legal websites. There's a little thing that out there. It's called Google, and you can Google certain terms, and it'll take you to a website that discusses the legal precedents. Journalist is a thing. Well, Tim Holmseth calls me a social media journalist. He called me that. But Truth Punisher's typing again. Let's see what comes up. But I'm gonna have to. McGregor's back said that you and Kim were formerly and used to yell at each other. Well, that's true because radio played Kim and me against each other, and Kim thought I was on Tim's team and that I was working against her on behalf of Tim. And so we had big arguments about that. And she would accuse me of being certain people on the internet. And it took outside parties to come in and expose radio as the one that was playing everybody against each other. And McGregor is is the equivalent of Punisher. She was infatuated with Tim and believed everything he said. And, you know, well, then I guess Tim Holmseth legitimized you by the words out of his precious mouth. Ooh, he's precious. Well, he's the one that said it. You know, I didn't claim it. He claimed it. I have never claimed that I was working with the FBI or the CIA or any of these other agencies. Yes, I did go up to Minneapolis to discuss something, but oh, good. Yeah, he's got to have He's got you snowplowed. Timmy's precious. Well, that's good. I'm glad. We used to be. Right now, I don't know what the status is between me and McGregor. I haven't heard from her in a long time. I don't even know if she's still on. Excuse me, if she's still on the. Who meets with the FBI informants? Yeah, Timmy has called me an informant. So, but he also says that I work for the CIA. He says I work for all kinds of law enforcement. So, colleagues. Hmm, interesting. But yeah, but Timmy claims all these things. I don't. And this Bob Hammer guy, he's got me associating with a dead guy. Who won the yelling matches between you and Kim? Well, it was a draw because once Kim and I realized that we're being played against each other, we teamed up and got radio off the air. Once radio was exposed, she ran away. Okay, Bob Hammer's alive, but it's Regan that's dead, and I don't know Bob Hammer. I've never met the guy. I haven't contacted him, but I don't know him. I mean, and Tim Holmseth is lying about Bob Hammer. But, he lies about everybody, so, well, what can I say? But have I met Jeremiah Reagan? No, I have not. Never met him. Yeah, you done messed up there. He is with Greg Sawyer. Well, he's with Greg Sawyer, so what? I'm not with either one of them. I have not met all connected to Picasio. Well, if that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I don't care. My primary thing is that Tim Holmseth is lying about all of us. He's lying about me. He's lying about Kim. He's lying about Fireman John and everybody else. I don't care about Jeremiah's wrong. Well, Jeremiah has moved on. He's gotten married. And so, I don't know why you keep bringing this up. I mean, why is this important? Extracurricular, why are you asking these questions and yet you want me not to call you a troll? Fireman John what? Fireman John is just a retired first responder living uh, a normal life. And because he moderated my channel chat, Tim Holmseth attacked him. That's the only reason Tim Holmseth goes after Fireman John is because he moderated my chat. Only reason. Ugh. Mark, you really need to quit. No, stupid. Jeremiah married someone from where he lives. Jeremiah and Kim have not talked to each other in over a decade. You need to get your shit straight. Well, yeah, Mark. Tim Holmseth has accused Fireman John of being a party to the murder of the two teenagers in Delphi, Indiana. This is the kind of person that Tim Holmseth is. He accuses people of things out of spite. Well, then quit. If you want me to be not be rude to you, quit being so damn nosy about people that you have no business talking about. Fire hose, Fireman Judd put the threat in your chat. Well, who fired the first shot? Tim Holmseth did. Tim Holmseth accused Fireman John of murder. Now, I think Fireman John uh, can be excused for getting pissed. You may have been nice to me, but you're not being nice to people like him and uh, Jeremiah. I mean, yeah, why is any of this your business? It all keeps connecting together. No, it doesn't. All you're doing is uh, going after people that you know nothing about. You're basing everything that you say based because of what Timmy says. You have the investigative skills of a dead rock, and you are completely brainwashed. And since you are acting as a third party agent for Homeseth, you are legally liable for everything that he's doing. So you have no idea of what's being done in the background right now. Oh, here we go with the Ukraine bullshit. There's no connection between Kim Picasio and the Ukraine. What happened to Laurie Esky? Who is Laurie Esky? I did you jog my memory with that one. Now, in case you're not reading my chat, I'm talking to somebody by the name of extracurricular. Uh, these people are so brain dead, it's pathetic. That's not the name that's up here. The name up here is Laurie Eskie, Eskie. It's not Laurie Kennedy. So I don't know where Laurie Eskie. Do I think that Randy will turn Timmy in? No. Yeah. Well, Laurie's another one you people are falsely going after. And the only reason you're going after Laurie is because she's in my chat. She's not guilty of anything other than being in my chat and disagreeing with Homeseth. Everybody that disagrees with Homeseth is subject to being stalked. Well, I doubt she's going to do that, Tennessee. She's, oh, I don't know. I can't figure that woman out. I see. So now you're calling somebody else a pedophile. You are. Whoever runs this idiotic Pentagon pedophile task force chat. Am I friends with Agent 19? I haven't talked to Agent 19 for quite a long time, and I guess we're on friendly terms. I have no gripe against Agent 19. He hasn't done anything to me. Um, I have, we're cordial, I guess is about the best way you can put it. Whether we raise, I don't even know who he is. Where's Monograph? Monograph is over on YouTube doing his stream from last time. Laurie has a lady friend who displays all pedo symbolism. Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, and that's no excuse to attack Laurie. Why don't you go attack the other woman? That's all you people know how to do is attack people. This is not saving any children. You people attack people that criticize Tim just for the sake. Um, Agent 19 challenged Timothy to a fight. Well, why doesn't Timmy? We are not surrounded by pedophiles. You're the one that makes that claim. You're the one that's associated with a man that's defending a pedophile. You know, that's your deal, not mine. I said 100 times that Tim Holmseth would take the shit off the internet that he's written about me. You don't even know Agent 19. Hell, a dead poodle would kick Timmy's ass. The guy's a wimp. He's a fat slob. Oh, actually, he did. When did this happen? And where's your proof? Where's your proof? Don't see any proof. You call me a serial killer. I don't know. The description he gave of himself. See, if you take his dimensions, he's a chubby yubby. I don't know if he went into court or not. Timmy has lost every single lawsuit that he's filed. The one he made such a big deal about in Tennessee was dismissed. The other one's probably going to be dismissed because he doesn't know shit about filing anything. And Randy's appeal ain't going anywhere. What's going on with Rakita Law and Monograph? Well, there's some kind of dispute from what I've been told. Did the agent tell you about being dragged into court at 9 a.m.? No, he did not. I don't know a thing about it. What's the case number? If there's been a court case, there's going to be a case number. Stop exploiting these children, Pan. Yeah, she is actually bringing out one of Timmy's lies. That article about the panda eyes is a lie. Um, Timmy wanted to pose Levi. Well, he can't because he lost the lawsuit. I don't know if Agent 19 went to court or not. I don't follow everything that happens with Agent 19. But you glossed over the panda eyes thing. Timothy Charles Holmseth took children who suffer a medical condition and claimed that they were victims of child abuse, and no, they were not. This is a um, research. No, well, where's the case number? You know, you apparently know Agent 19's real name. Let's see. Prove it. Proof. Where's the proof? Case number, court, federal, state, local. You shoot these accusations out there and you don't provide any proof. So. No, he was not. Levi wasn't served. The process server went to the wrong house and threw the thing down on the ground. That's not a legal process. Oh, of course not. Oh, here we go. Truth Punisher says she cannot disclose the lawsuit that 2022 Tennessee. Why not? We got a big secret lawsuit going on now. This is the excuse these people use. It's all closed. No, he was not personally served. You read wrong. They went to the wrong address. And it doesn't matter if he was served or not. The case was thrown out, it was dismissed. You're not being given correct information. Well, what was the court case between him and Tim then? You're not being specific. You throw this stuff out there, Punisher, and then you don't follow up with any verifiable information. You can say anything you want, but you can't back it up. And this is the problem with Holmseth. He does the exact same thing. And that's and you people just lie with impunity. You don't care about the truth. And I'm surprised you even bother me over here because you're not going to convince me of anything. Then what did you say? Now I don't know. Isn't No, age at 19 never went after uh, Levi extracurricular. You're not over here. Then how are you seeing you're talking to me and I am answering your questions? How are you able to talk to me and you're not on my channel? Explain that to me. I don't understand it. See, Truth Punisher is sending me posts on Telegram in real time. And yet she says she's not in here watching my live stream. I'm in a public chat. Yeah, it's on my channel, you dingbat. I mean, this Truth Punisher is stupid. How are you reading I'm talking on the air, audio, and you are replying to me in your chat. So you are monitoring this station somehow. Quit being an idiot. Yeah, I'm in PPTF chat and you are watching my live stream. In order to watch my live stream, you have to log on to YouTube and click the link that takes you to this channel. Well, you're on Telegram in the public chat in Telegram. That's the only place you're allowed to be, I guess. Yeah, it's all social media. Jeez. Duh. Of course I'm in the PPTF chat. I didn't say I wasn't. In order for you to see what I'm saying, you have to be in my Murtathon. So we're even. What don't you understand about that? This I guess Truth Puncher just wants to be a troll tonight and show how stupid they are. Thanks to those trees and us LARPs. Well, I don't know. Elon Musk is running. Well, you apparently care. You're here. You're watching this live stream, so you care. But, you know, that Jesse Dingbat's on Twitter, and somebody from this chat is on Twitter because my Twitter posts get. Where is Kathy McCall? Well, she's over on Telegram, over in the PPTF chat. Now, she's not on tonight from what I can see, but she's over there. Um, all of Timmy's buddies are over on the PPTF chat on Telegram. And there's a few on Two Social and a couple of other places that he is at. Did Punisher Infiltrated call into Agent 19 show? I don't know. Yeah, I did call into Frank's show, and he's a little coward. Extracurricular, she saw your question. Um, so that's proof that she's watching my live stream. Um, yeah, and of course, yeah, because, Frank, whoever he is, doesn't, disagrees with Tim Holmes says. Believes in the truth, and she doesn't. So. Whew, man, I'm 39 minutes longer into this live stream than I had intended. Is Timothy still friends with Phil? Well, Phil McConnell has come out publicly several times saying he felt deceived by Tim Holmseth and he wants nothing more to do with him. And under court order, he can't associate with Tim anyway. Tim caused Phil McConnell a lot of grief. Well, yes, he did work with Pim Bacasio against Holmseth because Holmseth was stalking Kim Bacasio. That's why the injunction was taken out. There's a 147-page transcript. Yeah, the court order. If Tim Holmseth would have left Kim alone, there we wouldn't have these problems. But Tim insisted on lying about Kim Pacasio. That's all he knows how to do is lie. And anybody that becomes friends with Kim Pacasio, he attacks. Oh, here we go. No, Tim Holmseth did because he brought this soap opera about Kim Pacasio into Phil McConnell. Phil McConnell never heard of Kim Pacasio until Tim Holmseth told him about her. And Field was duped into following a false narrative, and he paid the price for it. And this is what happens. Tim Holmseth gets people in trouble, and then he walks away, and these people take the fall. Look at Cynthia Absug. Look at Neely Blanchard. They're in the situations they are because of people like Tim Holmseth. Well, doesn't matter. You're not going to believe anything I say anyway, so doesn't matter. I don't care. You seem to care about what I say because you're in here trolling me. I don't know what you. Juan and David Straight spoke with Field. Yes, they did. And they both don't like Tim Holmseth. And that's why Tim Holmseth attacked Juan and David Straight. And Holmseth always used proxies. Won't be long until he falls out with Jesse. Yeah, no, 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 no. Excuses, excuse. You know, you're going to use that diatribe anyway. Nobody was seeking to devour anything. All Kim wanted was to be left alone. You people cannot mind your own business. You got to make up lies. Well, Tim Holmseth said the same thing. You know, Tim Holmseth has come out against Juan Osabin. Or haven't you been reading his stuff? He called him out for claiming he was JFK Jr. So you can sit there and you can cheerlead to me all you want to, but it's falling on deaf ears. You know, you got your own little kingdom over there at the Pedophile Protectors Chat Task Force chat. So, you people don't seem to care that Timmy is protecting an accused pedophile. So, what can I say? Okay. Well, folks, how many screwed people? What do we got here? Hallett was killed. Let's go down through these. Hallett was killed by Petrie Blanchard because he lied to her. So, Hallett brought it upon himself, claimed he was something he was not. She got pissed and she killed him. Cappy, I don't know a thing about Cappy. Preacher, Preacher is still running around doing his thing. He's getting himself into trouble on campuses because the students don't want him there. It had nothing to do with anybody. Preacher Dan is an idiot. Yeah, you can go on with your lies all you want, Punisher. Field McConnell, victim. Oh, she didn't kill anybody. So you're calling Chris Hallett's girlfriend and her child a liar. That's nice. Why don't you come down to Ocala, Florida and testify for the defense? Get your passport and come down here. That'd be interesting to watch. Yeah, it's going to be curious to see what Kirk Pendergrass said in his interview with the prosecution and the defense, because you know he was called as a material witness in that case, and he gave a deposition. So when that comes out, and what's funny, Punisher, is Neely confessed to both Georgia authorities and to Florida authorities that she killed uh, Chris Silent, and she explained why. But instead of being a big know-it-all, why don't you wait until the trial? It starts the middle of May, and we'll see how the trial goes. Maybe she'll be another Casey Anthony. These people seem to get away with murder down here. Oh, you won't have to. Okay, okay. I guess Timmy will let you know everything. Just many people confess to crimes they didn't commit. Informant murder. Well, that's what the trial is about. There is going to be a trial, and there will be a jury, and the jury will get to decide if she's innocent or not. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the trial and see what happens. I had nothing to do with the Blanchard case. I wasn't an informant for the case or anything like that. Timmy must be guilty because he won't go to court. He runs away. Innocent people do not run away from a court. They go to court to prove their innocence. Do you know Roy Potter? Well, apparently I don't, because I don't know who Roy Potter is. Why don't you enlighten me as to who Roy Potter is? Hmm. Somebody had pictures of a ceiling. That was interesting. Okay, Mark, enlighten me. Who is Roy Potter? And who is bullshit? It's like I said, he worked a lot with Montagraph. All right, well, still don't know him. I haven't watched a Montagraph live stream in a long, long, long time. So I don't know anything that's going on with him except what I get told. Let's see. Comment. Kirk spilled the beans on Randy and Timmy's involvement with the murder. Randy told lies to Neely to make her kill Chris. Well, it will be interesting to see if Kirk testifies to that at the trial, because we get, um, you know, once we get people under oath, we'll see what's going on. I think they had a snuff film thing going on. Hmm. Well, if they did, they did. Got to prove it. I mean, Timmy's already lied about the film the video that Monograph made. So, the, Timmy's lying about a lot of stuff, and he's barging in on these cases, and he's denying those two girls justice by getting his nose into the Delphi case. So, what can I say? I'm sure Timmy has the goods. Yeah, sure he does. Um, well, Timmy needs to come out of hiding, go into court, and prove it. He's not going to prove anything by hiding in a car full of his junk. Roy Potter would name drop Monograph all the time on his YouTube videos. Well, since I don't watch Roy Potter's videos, I wouldn't know about that. So I guess there's something going on between Roy Potter and Montegraph. Fine. And the only reason you guys are chasing after Montegraph is because he came to defense to Kim Picasio. I wouldn't show up if I were home set. Well, why? How is Tim going to get his story out there except through these stupid uh, ultra white channels? Tim Holmseth has got to go under oath and prove what he's saying. Signing declarations in front of a uh, notary public is not going under oath. You got to go into court, put your hand on the Bible, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and testify. He refuses to do that. Well, you think wrong. Nobody is going to risk their freedom or the electric chair over a pipsqueak like Tim Holmseth. It's not worth the time. It's not going to solve anything. If some idiot kills Tim Holmseth, he's going to be a martyr. And that's the biggest mistake that would be one of these John Wilkes Booth things where John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln, and look where it got him. It got him burned up in a barn, and even the people in the South hated him because he screwed things up for the South. So this nonsense that Tim Holseth is putting out saying that people want to assassinate him is bullshit. And it's a pity party to get money because he's got people like you duped into thinking he is what he is not, and you send all your hard earned money and not so hard earned money to him. He's playing you people for fools. All I've been trying to do is to get Tim Holmseth to quit lying about me. Tim Holmseth has been after me for 14 years, and he won't shut up about me. He's on this bullshit about Whitey Bulger. He's got me accused of being at the site where these two teenagers are killed. He is accusing me of murder, and I'm not going to stand for that. Period. Well, and apparently Craig Sawyer doesn't know how to look for people because radio's following him around. She knows, you know, Timmy doesn't understand that there is someone that knows where he's at 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. You know, this woman is not married. She's like an Annie Oakley country girl, tomboy, and she's doing what Timmy's doing. She's living out of her vehicle, and she is following him all over the place. This is what I've been told, and some of the tips I've been getting, she is spot on. So radio is looking at Tim Holmset. I don't know what she thinks she's doing, but that's out there, and I don't care if I'm believed or not. If nobody believes me about what I says about radio, that helps radio out because no one's going to be looking for her. So have it, saves me the trouble. Where are Fields' missing gun? Well, we don't know. Was Neely found in possession? Yes. Did Randy give Neely a second gun? Unknown. Whose DNA is on it? That's sealed by the court. But yes, she had a gun in her possession. Public access counselor says authorities shouldn't have kept public in the dark about arrest in the Delphi murders. Well, that's an opinion of the station, and I happen to agree with it. And the arrest eventually did come out. So, but at the same time, you know, based on the facts in that case to now, David Strait tried connecting Randy and Tim Honseth with the gun. Uh, I don't know about that, Mark. Uh, but remember, Phil McConnell has a lot of guns, and that guy that eventually went to um, Denver paraded around on Field's show with a gun. I watched that show live when it happened. He had a gun in his hand behind Field McConnell. So, but again, we won't know the facts until the trial. The trial is when everything comes out. All we can do between now and then is speculate. But it's not evidence. The evidence will come out in court. You know, and this happens every time with these high profile cases on social media. Everybody runs around making all these statements and everything. And then when it goes to court, it blows up. So, you know, David Strait's another loser. I am no fan of David Strait. And David Strait is the one that basically gave Tim Holmesat the idea for the PPTF. So, you know, he's another loser in this thing. And Tim turned against him. Well, at least we agree on something. But I have no. David Strait's another one that needs to wind up in prison. Guy is nothing but a fraud and a grifter. Why didn't. Because David Strait's not QAnon. Now, the Daily Beast did do an article about David, and they did a video, as a matter of fact, um, about David Strait. And David Strait came to the defense of a pedophile, just like Tim Holmseth is doing, and made the situation for the pedophile even worse. I mean, you know, and was about the one thing he did. But David Strait's a total fraud. But remember, Tim Holmseth admired the guy. He wrote about or David Strait for years. And then all of a sudden, because David Strait wouldn't do his bidding, he kicked him out. That's what he does. Did it to General Flynn and did it to uh, the lawyer. Uh, the person who was charged with the murder of the two teenage girls is an alleged pedophile, and it is rumors are going around that he was associated in some way with a pedophile that visited the two teenage girls the night before they were murdered. Oh boy, here we go. Well, you're wrong, extracurricular. I am not friends with David Strait. I have had no communication at all with David Strait. Um, you know, I consider David Strait a fraud. I think he needs to go to jail, period. And Tim Holmes says did not dupe David Strait. It's the other way around. Um, and Timmy got all pissy when he found out that David Strait had duped him, and that's why he turned on him. Now, if Tim Holmseth would concentrate on people like David Strait and General Flynn, all would be good. But no, he has to go after innocent people like me and Lori and the rest of us. You know, this is the problem. Tim Holmseth is wasting what resources he has. You know, if he went after all the people that are truly guilty of things, he would be much better off. But he won't do that. You know, he has plenty of he has plenty of things out there to talk about instead of bothering with Kim, me, and Lori, and Fireman John, and everybody else. But he refuses to do that. He's a coward. I don't agree with the people that are defending David Street, but you know, they'll probably attack me now because I, criticize David Street. It seems to be when you criticize people, you wind up getting pummeled without people determining, trying to find out what the truth is. But that's the way the world is. Everything's based on lies. But Delphi murder trial may be affected by congressional testimony. Well, apparently it won't be because Jesse's not going to testify. Because everybody gave up on that one. They're too busy worrying about me and my live stream. Oh, well, that's between you and Mama. I don't even know. I don't know her that well. That's I got enough on my plate without getting involved in that shit. Well, that's fine. She hates me. She hates me. I mean, half the internet hates me thanks to Tim. Is she on the road? I don't know. I don't know anything about this butterfly mama thing, whoever she is. Anybody, I'm, because I tell the truth, I'm the most hated man on here. So what can I say? Do, 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 do. Let's see. It's 11 o'clock at night, folks. I'm going to cut this off. This has been going on an hour longer than I expected. It's kind of interesting. Um, but, didn't accomplish a damn thing. Uh, no, you just lie about me, Punisher. So that's, I don't hate Tim. I just wish he'd leave me alone. I think Tim is a fool, and I think he's being manipulated. But if you want to call him what you want to call him, I can't argue with that. You know, but I'm disappointed in people that follow him because it's clearly obvious that he's lying. But you can't you can't force a horse to drink the water when you bring him to the trough or something like that. No, I haven't. Well, Tim's lied about me. You support liars, so but what can I say? I'm just I'm in a no-win situation here, so that's just the way it is. Anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share. And we will meet again somewhere, sometime. They seem to think I'm desperate because I come on more than once a week, but I was able to fit in the schedule, and this nonsense over there on Telegram just kind of caught my attention, and I decided to talk about it and got into a debate in the process. Good night, all. Um, have a good weekend. I do not think I will be on tomorrow night, but anything's possible because I have a weird schedule on this weekend. So, anyway, till we meet again, have a good one.